It's the Bettor Odds. It's 9:23. It's Tuesday again. Hola, Tony.
So, my friend, how are you?
I'm great, thank you.
There you go. There you go.
Thank you. I am great. I'm still having difficulty figuring out how to look at the camera.
I know.
I twist. I start going one direction, then I'm over here. I feel like the dice man. I'm over here now.
I have the same problem.
Yeah.
Welcome, guys. New week. Last week, Sunday was brutal. 1-3.
NFL's the worst. It's hard to watch.
It's tough. I mean, you got to, I'm looking to bet against the public to a certain degree. Not always. It's not. Nothing's 100% in this business. But if you find yourself on public sides the entire season, chances are at the end of the season you'll be underwater for the most part. I was on every bad team. I mean, there's some bad teams in this league. New Orleans, the Titans, Jets and Giants don't look all that good. What a surprise. I know for Jersey people. You've seen this movie before. But anyway, I wanted to
North Jersey, Tony.
North Jersey.
South Jersey, we are Eagles fans.
You're Eagles fans. That's right. That's right. This is North Dirty Jersey.
That's right. They're very different states, in fact.
They are different states.
They're very, very
certainly different states of mind. That's for sure. That's true. I made a list of college games. I told you I'd go down the move games, steam games, whatever you want to call them. It means the same thing. Tell you what the numbers opened, where they are, where they may be heading, and what it means. So we'll do that first, and then there's a Thursday night game I want to talk about. Cool. So let's get into that. Pull up the right screen here. All right. First game, Notre Dame and Arkansas. Notre Dame opened 6 over the overall market. Circa opened 5. So when I give you the opener, it'll be the overall market, not so much Circa, because Circa does a lot more price discovery. They'll take, I discussed this before, they'll take 1 or 2 max bets, and then they move the number, which is the way bookmaking works. So let's use the 6. It's down to 4 for the most part. I didn't bet any of these games, by the way. I'm just giving you where the market is, where it may be going. At 4, you can't bet Arkansas. I think you'll see perhaps Notre Dame money coming late. I think if you wait until the day of, which is Saturday, I think you may be able to get that +6 back. So just keep an eye on that. All right, game number 2. Well, we're going to skip that one because we're going to talk about it later. Florida State, nothing really happened. They opened 7 up to 7.5, and the 7.5 was taken back right away. Now it's just 2 6.5s that I see. Everybody else is at 7. Nothing major going on there. Ole Miss, that's if you guys are on the screen, I'll give you the rotation numbers as well so you can follow along. Ole Miss is 176 rotation number. They opened +1 and now they're -1. Not a lot going on there, but there's money's came in on Ole Miss, a bit of it, nothing major, nothing to worry about, nothing drastic. Auburn, they open +7 against the playing Texas A&M on the road. They open +7 down to 6.5. Again, wait on it. And more than likely, the public will be on A&M. Might be able to push this number back to 7, and then you can make a decision at that point whether you want to take the 7, or maybe you want to lay the 6.5. Circa's at 6. Maybe you want to lay 6. That's your decision. I'm just giving you what's going on. Washington, that's 202 on a rotation. Playing Ohio State at home. Washington's at home. Ohio State opened 10 and 9.5, respectively, Circa and the rest of the market. It's down to 8, so there's a move on to Washington. certainly at 9.5 and definitely at 10 at Circa. Circa's down to 9.5. The rest of the market's down to 8, with an 8.5 at FanDuel. Keep an eye on that. Okay, 165. That's Tennessee on the road to Mississippi State. This is a bigger move. Not through crazy numbers, but 9.5 down to 7.5. Tennessee opened 9.5. Currently at 7.5. If you like the Miss State side, you can still bet at plus 7.5. You're not losing that much value. You are going to. You can actually 7.5. You can get a price at FanDuel, lay $1.05 instead of minus 110.
So, Tono, you
Yes.
just brought that up when we're kind of talking about that.
Yeah.
It's massive. Massive. 5 cents. It's huge.
Yeah. I mean, I'll give you an example. Last night, Detroit, we'll use FanDuel, was plus 4.5, minus $1.04. At minus $1.04, you have to hit 50.9% to break even. On the other side, the Ravens were minus 4.5, minus $1.18 at that time. You got to hit another 5% to break even, just about 5% to break even. Over the course of a year, forget about the teams you like. This business is about odds and price. I'm speaking point spread when I say odds and price. Odds, if we're having a discussion about odds, it would be a money line wager. So sometimes you need to look past the point spread and look at what price am I paying for this number? Get out of your head that we'll just use Iowa State and Arizona, for instance. They opened 7. Arizona was bet. Now it's 6. And you start in your head, you're saying, well, I don't know. Is Iowa State really 7 points better than Arizona? This is not about that. This is a number. Again, I talked about this before. The books have handicappers that work for them, different guys for different sports usually. They'll give a max wager to all 3 guys. If 2 out of the 3 agree on a number, what the game should be, they'll give them max wager, let them hit it once, and then that's it, and then move the number. Now, maybe the people that bet Arizona plus 7, if this game were to go down to 5.5, which is below 6, another relatively important number, they may want to bet Iowa State at minus 5. When you look at these games that move, these guys will do this all week long. And what you'll find a lot of times is that they're just looking to move the market to a number that they like and then bet the other way. A lot of times, right. more often than it's talked about. So you got to get that out of your head. That is this team bet that many points better than is Team A that many points better than Team B? It has nothing to do with that. This is a market, a fluid market. It's an operation 24/7. And the guys that are moving these numbers, more often than not, are looking to get a better number than what's available currently. Sometimes they can get that number by moving the market. Other times the books see what's going on and they won't move that number. They'll stay put because now they'll see something come in somewhere else and they'll say, well, we're not going there. We're going to stay put right here. Because now they see something going on that these guys are trying to manipulate the market, and they'll freeze a number and stay put, especially if this is all around key numbers. So just keep that in mind, and you'll be, price is paramount with this stuff. It's very, the only thing that matters really.
Well, it's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like people drive out of their way to get 15-cent cheaper gas. You go to the store and you get this cheaper thing. You get hamburger instead of steak. And then price becomes an afterthought when we're dealing with this. It really doesn't make a lot of sense.
No, it's a market like anything else, no different than a stock market. Exactly the same as far as it relates to price. I gave examples of that before. If I buy a stock at $1 and I tell you about it on Monday, and you decide to wait till Wednesday to buy the same stock at $1.50, well, now I have the option to get out with a profit, and you're buying $1.50. Suppose it goes down to $1.25. Same scenario. Let's say I stay in, and I'm at my buy-in's at $1. You're at $1.50. It goes down to $1.25, and I say, you know what? I'm going to take my profit. Now I lock in a profit. You're 25 cents short profit.
Yep.
The same. This is no different. It should be treated no different than that. If you could think about the two exactly in the same way, you'll do far better. You'll make more money. You'll certainly lose less money. And injuries come into play. I'm not saying there's other variables, but
of course,
everything originates from price. That should be the most important thing for you to keep at the forefront of your mind.
Well, if you think about it, think about that number, right? Like you can, I'm just making up the number. It's 7. You're going to lay 7, but you're laying 7 at say $1.15 or $1.18, and you win today. But you're going to push that game sometimes. You're going to lose that game sometimes. And if you keep nickel and like you really wanted nickel and dime because the other side is, well, the book is, you're going to lose. You're just going from like, can you really be at 57% all year? I'm going to guess you probably can't be. So if you're at 53%, 54%, you can eke out a profit, but you're not going to do it laying too heavy juice when you don't have to.
No, if you're laying $1.15 religiously, you're not going to win. Conversely, if you can find those, let's say you like a dog, and then the favorites minus $1.16, minus 6.5. The dog rather is plus 6.5, minus $1.15, and you could get plus 6 minus $1.05 someplace else. Well, take the plus 6. Think about it. In one scenario, you have to win a little over about 51% to break even. The other, you got to win 54.5, 55% almost to break even. The market don't care who you like.
Well, and that goes to be said too. Like you could have, if you're overpaying, and say you do even hit X percentage, which would be a good percentage, but you're looking at your return, and now your return's lower. Be like your 100 got you back 93. Your 100 got, you know what I mean? And again and again and again, it's like betting that that monster favorite in baseball on the money line, where people don't equate price as much. People were relatively price sensitive in terms of money line, but not on the spread. And again, it seems to be very silly when you start adding up, and you could have a pretty good record at whatever 54 or 55%, but the money's not there.
No. And I understand a lot of, especially new bettors, they're swayed by these guys that they hear on social media, and the tickets that they post, and that are all photoshopped, by the way. None of them are real. 99% of them are fake. Let's put it that way. And that they're yelling and they're screaming, and they tell you that they're 10-1 and they got a 10-unit bomb and they got a 5-unit this. Ignore all of that stuff.
I love a 10-unit bomb. That's hilarious.
Yeah. Do you know the insanity? And even speaking of a 10-unit as opposed to a 1-unit play, if you lose one, how about this? If you lose one 10-unit play, let's say 2. Let's say you lose 2 10-unit plays all year. You're going to have a very tough time winning for the year.
How do you dig out of that hole?
Talk. That's real talk.
In
a sport.
Well, of course, and same with bankroll. I mean, if you're not really thinking from a bankroll perspective, and you have a quote endless sort of bankroll because you're just going to continue to do this, you could see the 10-unit bomb being attractive, and you're like, this is idiotic. Yeah. Why would you do that? Because what if you really were honest with yourself? That ridiculous 10-unit bomb, what percentage of your bankroll is it? because
It's
what are you talking? A 40% of your bankroll? That's insane.
It's nonsense. So they prey on, which really aggravates me and why I bring it up. They prey on newer bettors. People that have been doing this for a while, ignore them completely. But the new people, that if just ignore them. Do yourself a favor, pay them no mind, because they're marketers. They're there for your subscription fee. That's it. You're forgotten once you pay them. You're easily replaceable by another new guy next month.
Yep.
That's just the way it is. For those that want to come on board, the website, you know what it is. There's some reviews up there from some of the guys that I have. You
They're
can read them.
glowing reviews.
Yeah, I mean, well, guys like to make money. I understand that. Just read them and make a decision. I'd rather you not pay me and not pay them if that's what it takes. You don't have to pay. I say this every. You don't have to pay me, but please don't pay them. Because that's definitely a losing proposition, paying them for sure. All right. Where are we? The game I want to talk about. Okay. Thursday's game, Army on the road to East Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
This game opened 3. Went up to, this is another example of what I was talking about, about move games and guys moving a game to a number that they want.
So this game opens ECU -3.
Correct.
Okay.
And it was bet up to 6, almost 6 everywhere, certainly, and 6.5. Trying to find, I should have wrote this down, but I believe, did Circa go to 6.5? No. Maybe FanDuel. They usually half a point to the worst. Let's see. No. So it's got to be Pinnacle. Pinnacle is 6. Let's just call it 6. So it went up to 6, and the +6 on Army was scooped up right away. Now, a game like this, and I like Army in this game. I didn't bet it yet, but I'll tell you why I liked them. Army, I think we all know, is a rushing team. I think they throw the ball 18% of the time. The rest is rushing. They run the ball 8 out of every 10 plays or more. So there's 3 suspensions on East Carolina. Now, Carolina, conversely, is more of a pass-oriented offense. They run the ball, but not as often as they throw it. So they have a starting wide receiver suspended. Brock Spalding, he's out, suspension. And there's 2 defensive linemen, one a junior, one a senior, both starters, that are suspended as well. I don't know what they got suspended from. Something stupid, I'm sure.
I'm sure.
It wasn't for charitable work. Put it that way.
They're in college, man. If you're going to do dumb shit.
No kidding. So I like Army. Just against a solid rushing team like this, you can't afford to have be short 2 D linemen. It's not going to work out well for them. I think Army, with the run game, I was looking at the weather. There's nothing going on. Too bad it wasn't Saturday. We'd get some rain and a little bit of wind. But I think Army, they'll just grind this game into the dirt, especially if they take a lead. They'll run every play. And, the only problem is, will Carolina be able to stop them? Well, that remains to be seen. But if I'm getting points, if I'm getting 6, I'm going to wait. If I can get 6, I'll bet Army +6. I don't want the 5, 5.5. Doesn't mean much to me. It's a tweener number. This, I believe, let me just double check. It did go down to 4.5. Well, I'm sorry. It still opened 3, straight up to 6, and now back to 5.5. All right, I was right initially. So yeah, just wait it out. A lot of these moves will come back. Now there's guys that might have missed this +6. That now that they see it was bet, now they want to push this back to 6 to take a swing at it themselves. So just keep that in mind. And I think by, certainly the day of, if not some point Friday night, you may be able to get +6, and then I'll bet it at that point. This may be, that's another thing. I wanted to talk about.
Let's do it.
These percentages that supposedly everybody has. The books this and the
Right.
squares are on that, and the public's on this. Look, do you really believe that bookmakers are giving these? And I like the guys at Odds Logic, Spank Odds, cool, Dom Best, great. But do you really think that the sports books are giving these guys percentages of sharp bets where the money's going? Don't believe that shit. I don't know where these numbers are coming from, but I can almost assure you they're not coming from a sports book. And if they are, they're to mislead you and for no other reason. So don't take this into account. Don't listen to anybody online that says, "Oh yeah, this is a Publix. They're 80% ticket count and 71% money and all this." Don't get caught into that trap. The bookmakers are not giving away information that can be detrimental to their bottom line ever. They're just not going to do it. It would be silly to do. Think about it. Why would you do that? That'd be akin to them saying, "Well, we got." You could mention a famous sports bettor. Why don't they just give you his plays every week since they're willing to give you
Right,
that where the
right,
money's
right.
going? Why not
Yeah,
just
no,
say, "Well, Billy Walters is on this game." They just run down the whole card and tell everybody who he's betting. It's no different than what people are saying that they have a privy to here. It's not happening. It's a very generic number. Tickets and money and this and that. Don't put much credence behind it. It's just not legit. And if it is, it's there to deter you from betting one side or the other. So just keep that in mind. Don't fall into that trap. A lot of people do. People have built businesses around this, believe it or
sure.
not, and successful businesses at years past. But anyway, all right. What else we got here? Anything? I'm
You
trying to
tell
think.
me,
Oh,
man.
all right. Let's take a look at the WNBA real quick.
Ooh.
All right. Let's see here.
Our buddy Phil was on last week. Well,
Yes.
the two sides didn't work out, but boy, those props was
Props were
hot,
good.
man.
Props were good. Yeah.
I like that Kelsey Mitchell over 19 and a half. I think she finished with like 24. But
Yeah.
and they won that game, which was weird because I don't she didn't have not a lot of output in the fourth quarter because I think she had upwards of 20 in the sometime in the early third quarter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I looked at both these games briefly. I don't know if I'm going to bet them, but Vegas lost the last game. They were laying 8, I believe. 7.5. I think it went up to 8. Some 8.5s popped up, and now they're laying 9 at home. I just think from what I've seen from this Indiana team since Caitlin Clark went down, and it took them a couple of weeks to come together as a group without her. You could see they were kind of lost without her scoring, but now they've come together as a unit. There's no more woe is me. It's playoff time, and I think Vegas will win the game. Will they win it by 10? I'm not so sure. This number hasn't moved an inch all day. It opened 9 under 14. It's 9 minus 08 minus 13. It's pretty much the same. No vig. I pay no attention to them. They're arbors. They bet guys there bet both sides and not for a lot. It's 9.5 plus 04. I ignore those numbers. Forecaster with this. There's some sharp guys bet there. 9 minus 04. Gun to my head, I'm going to bet Indiana. I might bet them small. Plus 9. I'm waiting for a price. If I can get, I'm not laying more than $1.10. I'll tell you that. I'd like to get less than that. If you have FanDuel's 12 cents, what a surprise. Everybody else, if you have a Jazz, a street account, Jazz or Yo Pig, that's the street name for them. They run the same numbers. You can get plus 9 minus $1.07. That'll work. Let's see if there's any other place where you can get a better price than $1 minus 110. Bet online. +9, -105. That's the best price I'm seeing. So if you got a Bet Online account and want to take a little swing at this, +9, -105, that's the way to go.
Yes,
You know,
sir.
let the public lay $1.15. They'll be broke by the end of the season. This is, I don't know if it's all public money, but I'm going to assume that there's some public money in here, although it hasn't moved at all. The only two numbers I see that are any different, BetMGM is 8.5, -$1.15. Don't bet that. Even at -105 on the dog side. Caesars is 8.5, -$1.10 both ways. Don't bet that when you can get +9. Nine's a relatively important number.
Sure,
10
three
obvious.
threes.
Yeah, that's right. 10, same deal. The
Were you
Phoenix.
impressed with my quick math, by the way?
I want. God, you're good.
Yeah, I know. I memorized that multiplication table at a
You,
very young age.
that's when my math skills ceased to exist at a very young age.
I do
Phoenix.
it a lot. I call it theoretical math, where like you kind of do the percentage. You're like, it's like 92%, and then some like pedantic fucks like it's 92.8%. You're like, well, you're an asshole.
Remind me never to speak to that guy again. Yeah, no kidding. What about, let's see, Phoenix, Minnesota. Opened 8, down to 7.5, 7. Minnesota's up 1-0 in the series. If you like, I don't have an opinion on the game. If you like Phoenix at 8, +7.5 is okay. You can work with that. Don't bet +7. But if you can get 7.5, it looks like they're taking the dogs taking a little bit of money. I would wait. Sometimes these games go crazy right before tip, especially in this league when the numbers are relatively tight.
Right.
Certainly at this point in the season, I would wait it out and see if you can get 8 or 8.5 if you like the Phoenix side. The total 159, open 159.5. 160 is a key number. I lean over a little bit, not enough to make a bet, but with that, keep that in mind. And if you see maybe live early on, I talked about this 1,000 times.
Mm-hmm.
Within the first, 3-4 minutes, if they don't score, maybe it'll drop to 155. Then you could bet an over at that point with more confidence, because these numbers, again, at this time of the year, they're about as good as they're going to get. And other than that, we're going to talk NFL on Thursday. More NFL
We
on
got
Thursday.
the Seahawks Cardinals Thursday night.
Yeah, a pretty good game, I think. Yeah, I have a few in mind for Thursday. We could talk about for Sunday's card.
Cool.
And this is really to try and help you guys get past all the nonsense. I know that the loudest voices on social media, they actually appear that they know the most. They know the least, and are long-term losers that really don't bet. I can assure you of that. All these guys yelling and screaming about, I got to bomb this, I got to bomb that, 5-unit this, 5-unit. What they're not telling you, that units are $10 each. That's what they don't tell you. And the day after, when they lose, it's on to another story. It's never about the loser they had the night before. That gets brushed under the rug, never talked about. And the record only shows that they maybe during the week that they lost the game, but not what the game was worth. It'll never reflect the 10 units because they have no record.
And exactly the glossing over the losses. I mean, this is not a game. This is not a game of 70, 80%. You're working on 3, 4, 5% margin. Think about that. Like it's just not the game I think a lot of people think it is.
No. If you can hit 57%, which is very difficult to do, you're doing really well. Better
You're
than
amazing.
certainly better than any tout that's on social media or anywhere else, and a lot of more than most professionals. Better than most professionals. So just keep that in mind. I'm not talking about, I'm not talking about laying $1.50, $1.60 on a game and you hit 57% because you'd be underwater. I'm talking about if you're laying $1.10 max and less. If you can hit 57%, you're as good as there is at the best price.
At the best price,
and not $1.15, $1.10 or less, preferably less. Then you got nothing to worry about.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to describe it. That's the real truth. It's not. This is not a. When I see adults acting like children just to get subscription money, I'd rather be living under a bridge than ever do that. Ever. I would, bro. I would never act like that.
I mean, you got to have some integrity.
Come on, man.
You have to have some dignity. And a lot of people that just flies right out the window.
Apparently, yeah. But
not at TonyCSports.com, kid.
No, you'll never see that. I promise you.
Thank God. I couldn't stomach it, frankly.
I'd be doing this show alone if I ever acted like that. But anyway, all right. I think unless you got anything else.
No. I wanted to follow your lead today. I'll stuff later in the week. Cool. A couple of the college games that I like to look at. The NFL for me, man.
It's tough.
Not only is it tough, it just gets to a point where, gosh, I wish I had the game script.
Yeah, we all do. We all do. It seems that way, don't it? It really does.
I mean,
boy,
sometimes that Eagles. I did watch the Eagles game this week, and I was playing golf, and I got to my brother's and made this beautiful smoked brisket. It was awesome. But I was sitting there, I'm like, I've watched enough. I'm not going to be shocked a little bit when the Eagles win this game. And sure enough, in the fashion, I did feel bad. If you held a Rams ticket, I'm sorry. I feel bad for you. Because you win the game, they can miss the field goal, but you can't get it blocked and return it 70 yards by a 300-pounder.
Yeah, it's true. I forget what the exact number of either defensive or special teams touchdowns. I want to say 7. I don't know if that's right. It could be more, it could be less. But there
was at least 3 block kicks, 2 returned for touchdowns this weekend. When was the last time that happened?
No, very rarely.
Maybe never.
Yeah, maybe. And a huge amount of I was going to say inordinate, but I couldn't get out of my.
Add it to the list.
Put it on the list.
Add it to the list.
I either need a new tongue or a better dictionary, one or the other. I don't know. Probably both.
Is it your first day with the new tongue or last day with the old one?
Yeah, I know. It's not easy. All right. So that's it for today, guys.
Cool.
We'll be back Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday night we'll do. We'll go before like the pre-game.
Right.
Pre-game, and we'll probably be on right before ECU Army kicks, and who knows? Maybe there'll be some of that line moving that we talked about, and see if you took a side ultimately.
Yeah, we'll revisit that number on Thursday.
Cool.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining. Best of luck.
Tuesday night, the Bettor Odds, TonyCSports.com. I'm Joey D. We'll see you Thursday.
Take care, guys.